Hello everyone, I'm Heather. It is the 12th day of Shorty September and today's book project is How to Stay Sane in an Age of Division by Elif Shafak. So I finished my TBR for Shorty September yesterday and now I'm just in wild country. You know, I don't know where I'm going with Shorty September. I don't know what books I'm picking. I don't know where I'm going. So I think I need to make a new TBR today. And I think what I'm going to do is just do the prompts again, mate. You know, just hit them a second time around because then that's another 11 days. You know, we've got, 18 days left in September anyway. That gives me bumper room, okay? So I think I'm just going to hit that again and we'll talk about it later today after I've done that. The way that I chose this one for today was actually an inspiration off the book that I read yesterday, which was Elevation by Stephen King. And in it, there was a lot of talk about sort of healing divisions and stuff like that, sort of a divided society that like needs our help, really. And that's already been sort of a thing that's on my mind anyway. It's kind of like a bit of an Everest project for me anyway, trying to, I don't know, like heal minor divisions, like with politics and stuff like that within my family and sort of my friends in my area. Anyway, so that's why I chose this one. And I am excited for it. I think it's going to be good. I quite like Elif Shafak's stories, you know, how she presents them and her characters and stuff like that. So this obviously isn't a fiction book, but I like the things that she has to say generally. Even like I saw her do a talk for Hay Festival and I just really like her and her ideas and how she presents her ideas. However, I did, while reading this book, remember what I don't like about Elif Shafak's books. And it's that I don't like her writing. And it's actually painful. I don't like it. I think it's like forced. Like she's trying too hard to write things and to make them sound, I don't know, like she puts too many things together. Like it doesn't sound natural. And I do know that she's not a native English speaker and that she does write her books in English herself, you know, so holy shit, you know, way to master a language completely different from your native language. I think she's a native Turkish speaker, I think. But also, if it was a native English speaker writing in this way, I would just probably be like, no, like I'm not having that. I can't cope with this. It's not good, you know. But knowing that, I don't know, I like her characters, I like her ideas, I like what she has to say, I like her as a person, you know, things that I've seen her talk about. And also that she's annihilated the ability to speak English. Like, obviously she's mastered the shit out of that. You know, I'm less inclined to bag on her really hard, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Like the writing, I just don't get on with it. But anyway. Okay, like this bit. I must have dozed off, for I woke up to the clamour of shouting. I looked out, and there she was, walking down the street, limping furiously as she carried a shoe with a broken heel in one hand, while doggedly keeping on the other shoe. Like, do you sort of see what I mean? Maybe you don't feel this way literally at all, and maybe it's just, like, in my head, you know? But I feel like that is really clunky, you know, how those are written, like using the word for, like, for I felt this, you know? And also, like, writing a whole thing and then saying while doggedly, like, I don't know, in my head, those sentences, like, didn't flow naturally. They sounded, like, strange and, like, you know, like, clunky. I don't know, this is probably just all in my head, like, and I'm just being an asshole. Like, how dare you not write in the exact style I want to hear when I'm reading a book? Like, I don't know, anyway. I guess it's just everyone's preference.
I had a mermaid tail, some bubbles, tattoos with stickers.
Whoa!
And also there was like butterfly stickers and flag stickers.
What?
There was a lot with, and the ice cream I had, and I have a water cupcake.
Okay, so I have finished this and it was really thin but did take me a surprising amount of time to read it despite how thin it is. I think because you just spend a lot of time thinking about it. Like you read a sentence and then think and then read some more. And I did like it. I read this book once, like called The Death of Democracy or The End of the Democracy of something, like I'll put it up, and it was really good. I really enjoyed that one. It was really comprehensive in putting forth this theory of why it is that our societies are so divided now, and also sort of what we can do about it, how we can individually contribute toward healing divides. And I think this was very similar to that. A lot of the argument elements for why it is that way were the same, but sort of with a COVID update, you know? So that other book was written before COVID, and this one sort of says, should we return to the society we had before COVID, or should we sort of should we use that as like a stop break and sort of build our society differently going forward? The only thing I think I didn't like as much about this one is that it had less of a focus on what we can do about it. Like, okay, our society's broken. Thank you for the comprehensive details of that, you know, but what can we do? And I think really her thing sort of at the end is a focus on sort of the power of storytelling to heal us, you know? Like if we listen to different stories, people who aren't like us, their opinions, and like books about them and books from their perspective, that we'll be more empathetic and communication can be repaired, you know? Like as in people are feeling less and less heard in today's society, and when they don't feel heard, they are less likely to listen to other people, and it's like a vicious cycle where communication breaks down and, you know, social harmony is damaged and all this sort of stuff. And the way to fix this is for people to be more empathetic, you know, and to listen to different diverse voices and things like that. But to be honest, all of us who read a lot like already do that. Like we already read a lot, like our empathy levels are already quite high. I think people that don't read and don't want to read, like they probably won't do, you know, from here moving forward. Like she's just sort of preaching to the choir. She's like, people should read more diversely, and she's telling people who read diversely that the world should read more diversely. I don't think that was very constructive, to be honest. But I did like something that she said about like anger. It was really interesting. I haven't really thought about all of the anger that we have in our society for injustice and everything, how it's really good to use it productively and to push it forward and to force it to change our societies to be better, but also to make sure that it doesn't become like a repetitive, obsessive sort of anger that just, you know, becomes more corrosive than productive and just eats away at the people who are angry instead of eating away at the things that they're angry at. And I did think that was like quite an interesting element. I did like that. If you're interested in that sort of thing, this is just a good sort of quick essay about that you might be interested in. Okay, I finished, as I said, my TBR from earlier, and I was giving it a look through, and I had 4 separate instances of giving a book 5 stars, so Shorty September is going well, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna reprint the thing and stick a new one in and just redo all the prompts, right? And I have an idea for what I want to stick on there. So Shorty September TBR round 2, right? So for Shorty Shorts prompt, 70s or 80s book, I'm gonna go with this one that I randomly got at the library, which I'm excited about, is LA Woman by Eve Babbitt. Not sure what this one is about so much as just a woman living her best life in LA. Okay, next one is Runway Fashion Shorts is gonna be a translated book, and for that one, I'm gonna go with another library book that I got randomly, I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. So this is a dystopian one where all these women have been in cages for like their whole lives. Deep underground, 39 women live imprisoned in a cage. And I think soon she will show herself to be the key to others' escape and survival in the strange world that awaits them above. So This one was written in French originally, it's been translated into English, and that's literally all I know about it. Also, it was written in the 90s. I have deep love for things written in the 90s. Okay, next one is Granddad Shorts, a book you've had a long time. And because I've been doing Shorty September for 12 days already, I've really cleared out my personal stash of Shorty Shorts. So all of the ones that I've had the longest, I tried to read them first. So when I sort of put everything into prompts and looked at what I hadn't read left over, the only ones that were left over were ones that I've bought recently. So of those ones, the one I've had the longest, even though I did just recently purchase it, is The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Amriquez. So this is one that I've heard loads about. People were either really in love with it or really hated the crap out of it, and it's just basically, I think, a collection of horror stories. I'm excited about that one. I might actually start with that one from tomorrow. Like this, I think, is going to be tomorrow's book. So the next one is Bermuda Shorts. It's a book that takes place in another country. So I'm going to go with Hummingbird by Tristan Hughes. Tristan Hughes is Welsh, I'm pretty sure, but this book does take place in Canada, which is another country, so that's going to be pretty good. This one I think is about 15-year-old Zachary Taylor lives a lonely and isolated life with his father. His only neighbors are a leech trapper, an eccentric millionaire, and an expert in snow. Forest hides ruins and mysteries. The past can never be fully understood. Okay, so I don't really know what this is about, and also the flap doesn't really tell us, but I've heard it's pretty good. I've heard this author is quite good. So if I end up liking this one, I'm probably going to read other ones by him as well. Like there's one called Shattercone, which I've heard is pretty good. So next one is Half and Half Shorts. So this is the one where you read the book and then watch the movie, right? So I'm going to go with Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King. And I know this book is in my house. I know it's in my house. I remember buying it, but I cannot find it for the minute. I think my husband may have stolen it, thinking that he wanted to read it, and now it's just stuck somewhere. So I will find this book and I will read it and watch the movie. So I've not seen Shawshank Redemption. You know, I've heard it's really good, so I'm pretty excited to get on top of that. Okay, so the next one is Denim Shorts, a modern classic, right? So for that one, I'm gonna go with The Uncommon Reader by Alan Bennett. This one, I got it Hay on White, which I'm gonna go to for my birthday this year. It's about, I guess, just the Queen Elizabeth, reading books and how she gets a book from a cart and then I don't know. I don't really know what happens. Her Majesty, a passion for reading so great that her public duties begin to suffer. Like, I can understand that. I'm excited for that one. Okay, so the next one is Hometown Shorts, which is a book that takes place where you are. So this one takes place in Wales. It is The Prince's Pen by Horatio, and this series is a really good series. I love it. Each author is given a story from the Mabinogion, like the Welsh collection of legends and epics or whatever. It also has loads of Arthurian, like original Arthurian tales. So they each get a story and they have to retell it either as like a modern sort of take or as a future dystopian take or whatever. So this guy got Llŷd and Llefelys, which is a story that like tells the origins of London or something, you know? So in his take on it, all of the countries in the world have been taken over by something, or like they've fallen apart or something, and the only stable free states are Wales and Pakistan. So like they've got to somewhere in the high ground of the far west, insurrection is brewing. The bandit kings of Wales call themselves freedom fighters, blah, blah, and they have to sort of enlist the help of Uzma from Pakistan, the only other country in the free world. I think that's gonna be really good. I'm super excited, but it is quite long. It's like, of all the ones I've picked, it is a thickie. It's 206 pages. So hopefully I'll be able to finish that in a day. If not, I'm just gonna have to give up on that and just like continue on with a 2-dayer. Okay, so the next one, Escort. Okay, so this is like a genre bending one. I was originally gonna read The Mezzanine by Nicholson Baker, but then sort of messed up my timing and didn't really work out, so I had to do Elevation instead. So I'm just gonna do this one. Like, I want to read it. I'll get to it in this next round. Okay, so the next one, Boxer Shorts, comfort read. I'm gonna go with The Redemption of Galen Pike by Karis Davis. So these are a couple of stories that take place all over. Like in a remote Australian settlement, a young wife with an untellable secret reluctantly invites her neighbor into her home. A Quaker spinster offers companionship to a condemned man in a Colorado jail. Anyway, I love Karis Davis. Her one that I read was West. She also wrote in like The Mission House or just Mission House or something, which I really want to read. I just love Karis Davis and I'm excited to get this one. That's why it's my comfort read, because I know it's going to be good because Karis Davis wrote it. Okay, the next one is gym shorts. This is a book to get your pulse racing. And for that one, so I originally used this prompt as a way to sort of like read like a thriller, like a spicy book. But a lot of other people have been using it as like a way to read a book that's gonna really piss them off. So I thought I'd go with that. Tell Me How It Ends, an essay in 40 questions by Valeria Luiselli. So this one is about like migrant children into America and sort of how, like, about deportations and separating them from their families and stuff like that. It's just an essay sort of on that. Okay, and last one is ripped short. So this is a murder mystery or a slasher. So I went with a slasher last time because, you know, of course. But this time I think I'm gonna go with a really thin one. And I think I'm gonna do that because my birthday is coming up and I don't want to have like loads of stress about finishing a book on my birthday, do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking this can either be the one that I read when we go to Hay the day before my birthday, or the one that I read just on my birthday, like, you know, doing basically nothing except sort of browsing through an absolutely tiny book. Okay, it's only 40 pages. It's like one of these like little, you know, tiny novella type things, like basically a short story in book form. But it's called The Part-Time Job by P.D. James. Follow P.D. James, queen of crime, as she takes us into the mind of a man who has waited decades to enact his patient, ingenious revenge on a school bully. Okay, thank you for watching. Sorry this one was so long. Tomorrow's project is this one, Dangers of Smoking in Bed. If you have any questions or thoughts or anything at all to share with me, please do so, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye bye bye.